Okay, you can use what we're about to teach you on stage or off stage, in big audiences or small ones. It's a bit easier to do with a smaller audience, a one-on-one conversation or an interview with a professor, but if you're able to recognize these tics well enough, you'll be able to analyze any audience relatively well. We'll be focusing on just one method of analysis: direct observation. Other methods of analysis involve data entry or prior knowledge of your audience, but we're assuming that in this situation, you don't have any research prior. But if you do know who you will be speaking to, try to collect as much information as possible. Direct observation is making observation using our senses about the audience. These types of observations are important because they're gathered through personal experiences, which is often more impactful than indirect knowledge from other people. In the book, Personal Styles and Effective Performance, the authors identified 4 personality types. This book has been the primary guide for thousands of human resource departments worldwide, and it's based on the idea that if we can recognize and respond to these personality types, we'll be able to form better and more effective relationships with others. So let's take a look at these 4 types of people and some of the ways to address them. First, we have the driver. The driver is your stereotypical high-powered executive type. They want results. They're a reactive person. It's less likely that they're actually paying attention to your speech and more likely that they're thinking of what they want to say next. Consciously or not, they're probably seeking control of the conversation and will interrupt you to do so. You'll likely see minimal eye contact and forward-leaning body language and hear fast-paced speech. Your best shot here is to make your points quickly before they can interrupt you. Speak to what they want, control and results. Provide them with a set of options that result in concrete solutions, and you've made their day. With drivers, be cool, concise, and clear with what you think, and avoid any small talk. Here's another personality, the analytical. This person is fact and logic oriented. In a meeting or conversation, they ask questions, might lean back, and will generally keep a neutral tone. You might notice that their eyes are focused on your documents or their laptop, but you don't have to worry about these people losing focus. Instead, they're probably hyper-focused on your math, stats, or sources, and are determining for themselves whether they are valid. With this character, success lies in truth and detail. Don't be vague. Provide the analytical with all the information, the plan, or the data. Give them some space to process, and they will come to their own conclusions on the side of logic. In body language and tone, the counterpart to the analytical is the expressive. This individual is like an open book. They'll react to the good and the bad of your speech through facial expressions and body language, and you will know what they're thinking. They'll lean forward in their seat, generally be very animated. The key here is not to bore them. Spontaneity, positivity, and engagement are your best friends. To cater to the expressive, tell them a story. It's that simple. If you find the narrative within your data, you've already won half the battle. And our final personality type is the amiable. The friendliest face in the room, the amiable never wants to see your presentation or pitch fail. They'll use verbal affirmations and body language to assure you that you're doing an amazing job. Generally, they're quieter, but will make great eye contact and be fairly animated in their facial expressions. You need to understand that they want to welcome you. This means that you shouldn't be afraid to get a little bit more personal with them. Let them know what you did over the weekend or another personal anecdote. Create a safe environment for them to share their ideas. Above all, try to come off as personable as possible, not cool or standoffish. Now that you have access to all of these 4 profiles, use them. If you're in one-on-one conversations, it might be that you tweak your body language and change your tone. And if you're speaking to a group, you can still use these profiles to access more of your audience.